Streaming. Alrighty. It's live. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Good. All right, we are live. All right, good. So, you guys should be able to meet me in this room.
Solar Cities or
Solar Cities biogas. And let me turn on the floor. It should be vertical lock, world axis is here. Stage floor, okay. Stage floor. And the figure. All right, let me know when you're in. There you are. You are, so you don't have your avatar turned on? What you do is, you have to do that before you get in the room, if you want to see your avatar. You have a meta avatar? Oh, then you'll just be a headset. Notice that this has a measuring tool. So the way I sized this room is I went to, if you use your right grip, your right controller, and you click on the tools menu, you can go to measure, selection. Does this show up in front of you when I'm doing this or no? Yeah, Solar Cities biogas. This one here, the right bottom button that shows tools. Yeah, I say there's your toolkit. Whoa, okay. That's Siobhan. Hey, Siobhan. You're looking cool. Isn't that nice? I was laying all my parts out. So I didn't label them yet, but I've got all this play. But this is old stuff, and I'm going to get rid of this tank because it stinks. It couldn't get the holes in right. You see, remember what we did? The problem with the thing creating a tube down the middle? This one has that problem in it. Yeah, some of them are okay, some of them are bad. This one remember I said about them falling apart? Like, oops, that's ugly. So, like, the back of this one came out, and yuck. So, yikes. So that's why I want to bring in this new model that we have, or you can bring in here is, why don't we move over to the edge of the stage here, pick let's each give a quadrant. Like, I'll be in this, oh, yuck. I gotta grab all of it. I'm gonna use this quadrant here for my work. I'll move over to this quadrant, and you can each have stop. See, I did not join everything together. Bigger, get smaller, get bigger, get smaller. Move this over to this quadrant here. Right, this is my quadrant over here where I am. The logger or the store is over here in this quadrant for anybody, and I've locked down the tables so they can't be moved. But I'm going to be in this quadrant here, and that way we can look at each other's work. Now, the one thing I should tell you all about is make yourself giant so that you can see me close up. We'll look at this world. Come up here for a moment. That way we can have a conversation, seeing the lay of the land. Where's Aaron? Oh, there's Aaron, okay. Where's Siobhan? Oh, she's really teeny down there. All right, looking down at the lay of the land. Aaron, if you're on this quadrant here, and Siobhan's in this quadrant here, and I'm doing my work in this quadrant here, We don't interfere with one another, but we can always visit each other. The 1.74 meters is about the height that I made the character, and 1 meter is the height that I made the IBC tank. So I put that little thing, it's actually 1.2. I suppose we could make it bigger if we wanted it, 1.2 meters, 1.3 meters. I don't know how to shrink it once you've got it. So maybe the thing to do is to have your own reference, but the biodigester should be about 1.2. So when you come to that toggle here, and you go to the measuring thing, yeah, that one right there, then you can draw for yourself a line from the stage up 1.2 meters, and then, doesn't let me edit it, 1.2 meters, that is where your IBC tank dimensions should be. When you measure your IBC tank, oh yeah, it's a little small, it's a little big, because there's no guarantee it's going to come in right. And then the reference figure here, I put about 1.74, which is in between most women and men. So that gives you a sense of how big you should be if you want to be full size. Her legs are messed up, so she's not standing up right. Okay, with that said, you just click on the blue button. Should we wait for Shaban to grow? Shaban, do you want to come up to our scale? You're tiny. She's like Ant-Man in Quantumania. You disappeared, Shaban. You are so tiny. There you go. Get bigger. Okay, now you're joining us up here. There we go.
Very small.
Which table? The setup? No, it's the right size, because look at this 1.74 meter for the person, 120 for the biodigester. I sized everything.
To you, are they tiny little ant people?
Now they are.
Right now they are, yes.
Yeah, because we've made ourselves absolutely huge. So we can talk as giants, as gods, right? But I wanted us to know that the measurements, you should each have, I'm going to make one for you. Here, Shabbat, this is the measurement for your IBC tank. It should be that tall. You don't have to move it. I grabbed it and put it in your quadrant, because you're going to occupy this quadrant here. You hold the grip trigger and you hold the gun trigger. Grip trigger, you grab an object with the grip trigger and then press the gun trigger and you get a duplicate. There you go. And then if you press the gun trigger, it'll make a duplicate of an object. All right. Okay.
So how do we get our own for our history?
To get your own stuff in at this level of godhood, press the left controller's blue button on the top and go to the folder, third one down, and then go to EDU University that has 3 people on it. That's the collab space. And then go to Solar Cities IBC tutorial, and then you'll see your AC biodigester folder, and you have to wait for it to load. And looky there, oh cool. Then you've got to grip it and grab it and put it down. Mine has the holes in it that I wanted. And my little patch, which looks really weird, but at least you see the holes. So starting with that, and then there's the IBC with holes. There's 4-inch pipe, 2-inch pipe. I don't think I loaded my pipes, so I'm gonna have to work with one of yours. Or I can just go to my computer and do it, which is I think what I'll do. Hold on. I'm gonna come over to my computer. I wanted to see what my technique did though, because I know yours was very good. So, oh yeah, bring in everything that you prepared and make them available, because then everybody else can reach in and duplicate them, which is totally cool. And I'm going to go into landing pad and PVC valve 2-inch pipe. Whose is this? This is Aaron's, right?
I had this extra menu, I think.
Really? If you want to get rid of a menu, grab it and hit the delete button, which is the top right button the minus when you grab the menu. So I need to upload my ball valve and my IBC 2-inch pipe with hole 4-inch pipe. Okay, I got my things. And then I open them and they come in. And now I go back in here.
I thought I had a pin for
I'm sure you probably did.
So it kind of helped me, in my settings, I added a photo.
Oh yeah, that does help, for sure. Okay, so make it full screen and go big. Okay. Now I need to get into, alright, so double tap and I'm back in the world. And where did you guys go? Oh, that's weird. You're way up there, okay. All right. So, yeah. Cool. All right, so I have a tank. Oh, what did that, how did it turn into a box? Oh, because it's mesh. Oh my gosh. It has a box grabbing tool. That's weird.
Change the size of my ball valve is huge.
You grab it. Let me come over to you. Something's very strange about my thing now. It's using a grabbing box as the ball.
Let's see if that'll change the scale of it.
Okay, that's weird. Yeah, you grab it and then you take both hands and move it out. So we want to make the IBC tank, first of all, the size of 1.2 meters. So that's why we put that little reference in there. And what I suggest you do, so that you don't get messed up, is as soon as you bring in an object, are you both there? Where's Siobhan? Siobhan, where'd you go? Oh, there you are, way over there. Okay, look at this technique. When you come in, click on your hamburgers and go to the layers menu, right over here. Okay? Make a layer with your name, like I have T.H. Culhane, and somehow I'm gonna have to move this up because I can't really see it. Yeah, make a new layer and make it your name, like I'll put TH and then IBC. And that'll be the layer for your IBC. Everything should have its own discrete layer so you don't get confused, because then you can lock it. So if I now watch this, I grab my IBC tank and I drop it onto my layer and it turns green. And then that tank will appear back where it was, but now you can change its transparency. See that? You can lock it so nobody else can grab it, and then you're safe. So for example, right now, I can go right up to Aaron's IBC and grab it from him. Give me my IBC back. So you need to create a layer, put it in your layer, and lock it.
So each thing needs its own layer?
I would. That's the best way to do it, is to make layers for each thing, because then you can work on stuff without damaging other parts. You can also, in your layer, if you hit the magnifying glass, everything in the world will disappear except what you have in your layer, which is absolutely awesome.
How do I get my paint in my layer?
Oh, I see.
You lift it up and you place it on the layer.
It's like
Yeah,
Let me come over
So
there.
tank is,
Grab it, drop it on, and then watch it turn green over here. I don't see green. Yeah, I don't see your green, but you saw the green. Okay. That's pretty important to be doing layers like that. Now you can unlock or lock as you see fit. If you grab the tank, like I have it with the right grip here, and then you press with your thumb on the color wheel, you can change the color, and then when you let go, you've got a different colored tank. It'll stay in the same place. And I somehow lost my lid, but I have another one here, so I'm just going to put this there. Now there's this thing about grouping and ungrouping objects, and what you'll do, you didn't really delete it then. Or you hit the undo button. That delete button also acts as the undo button. It turns a little arrow facing backwards, saying, I want to undo what I just did. Now the pipes, you'll want to create a layer for your pipes and put them all in the same layer. But I'm going to create a layer and call it, oops. Sometimes you have to move the world over to be able to use your layer naming tool. Step out of the world. But you hit clear, and I'm going to put TH pipes. And in that layer, I will grab my pipes, which I have to bring in. I brought my pipes in. Have you brought your pipes in? Okay, I'm going to bring in my pipes. Up, so import, where's import? There it is. IBC. 2-inch pipe. And 4-inch pipe. So put in my pipe. Drop that in my tank. And in my other pipe. Drop in my tank. Of course, they're not going to be the right size. Ball valve.
How do I get rid of my layers? Like the UI.
Your layers, what?
The panel here, I want to go.
Either click again on the hamburger blue button, but if it's separated, like if I have, see I have this layer, this, if I move it out and for some reason it's,
Yeah,
I
I'm
do
just
it.
separated.
Then you need to grab it with your grab tool and then hit delete. I don't know why mine is not letting me separate, but it's not. Okay. Notice with the ball valve, we talked about how it was not the right color when we did that careful separation.
Actually, yeah, none of my colors can.
Right, none of them will.
Oh, okay.
So when you grab this ball valve that's in front of me, where's Siobhan? There she is. Okay, see if I grab this, I'll duplicate one and hand it to you. You have your own, I think, Aaron, or either way.
Yeah, mine are tiny, they're right in front of me.
Right here, take this. So what you do is you grab it and keeping the grip on it, go to your left hand and you'll see a purple button at the bottom that shows like breaking purple, that's ungroup. And when you do that, you will have two different parts, that part there, this part here. You will grab the top part, it will seem to move, but as long as you keep the grip held, it'll snap back into place when you let go. So you grip the top part, just the top. You can lift it, but keep the grip held. Then go to the color wheel and color it the red that it's supposed to be. And then let go, and you have a red grip. You should have a red grip. Mine only one side turned red. So it seems like this needs to be further broken up. There's that same button, but mine is not letting me ungroup. Weird enough. So I have a valve that has one color and another that doesn't. So maybe we made a mistake when we were trying to join the meshes. But once you have your color on it, then grab the whole thing again and regroup by clicking on those purple buttons on your left hand, and then it's all one group again. So it's this careful process of grouping, ungrouping, grouping, ungrouping, grouping, ungrouping. And then you can shrink this down to whatever the appropriate size may be. which is determined really by the pipes. I'll grab this pipe. Oh, I didn't create a layer for it, or I did, but I didn't put them in the layer. So make sure that you put your pipes in the layer so that you can turn them on and off. Your valves, you should create a layer for valves.
Yeah.
I am. I'm putting groups of things. Like I'll put pipes on a valve. I'm sorry, pipes on a layer, valves on a layer. It just really helps for coordination. Otherwise, things get lost. So if I grab my valve and then drop it on the layer, it's in that layer now. Then you can decide to lock your IBC while you're not working on it. Lock your valve, keep your pipes open, grab your pipe, change the color. Darn, why it's all blue? Why is it blue? I can't get the pipe to be any other color than blue. That's the weirdest thing. Is that the lighting? Oh yeah, it's the lighting because we have this blue room. Must be that. I'm going to change the room if you guys don't mind. How's that? Yeah, better. Preset or just white. How do you do? Oh, you can change the custom color too. Shadows, outdoor. Turn off the shadows. Does the shadows being off help? Floor grid. HDR. Choose a custom HDR. Machine shop. Ha! How cool is that? Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing?
Did you change the horizon and give us the good background?
I gave you a machine shop.
Oh, now I see it. Thanks.
It's an HDR.
You reset the ground. You like it a little bit more?
You can put in other HDRs in landing pad if you want to put a skybox in here, for example. This is one they supply us with. Which is kind of cool. All right. No, the ball valve is for gas. So here, if you come over and look at mine, I'll do a quick build for you. I take my pipe. I've got to shrink it now because it's not quite. Right. Put it down inside the hole. I wish there was a way to constrain to the z-axis, but I haven't learned it yet. So I'm gonna. What? And for some reason, my pipe, they're not empty. Settings vertical lock. I don't think that just keeps us from being able to turn the world around. So we are in vertical lock right now, because otherwise I could twist the world upside down. Yeah. I got stage floor. That world axis is in there. Yeah, I don't know. Are your pipes unhollow? Because if they are, here's the technique that you use to get the top of it. If you can come over and see by me, you go and you grab your pipe. Should I make myself bigger? All right. I'll just make this really big so you can see. So here's my pipe, right? And the top is not got a hole in it. Notice? Yours probably doesn't have one either. Here, let me see mine. No hole. All right, so what you have to do is grab it and go to your left controller to the blue button that has the little dots and dotted lines on it. that lets you go into edit mode. It'll say level of detail. There is a cube with a mesh on it. That says convert to subdivision object. Click on it and your thing will look like it has a lot of points. Then you got to make yourself really, really, really big and get in there. And you got to take that face. Oops, I did it wrong. You got to take the face, click on it, and delete it. And then it works. It seems like a mess, and I lost some faces too. So I think that means that there's going to have to be something done in Blender to fix that, because now it's a mess. But at least I got the whole. Shoot, there's no way to repair this, is there? Wait a minute. Offset, bake, thicken. Oh, shoot. Collapse polygons, auto select loops, restrict face movement, subdivision level, low poly. I'm not sure how you join points, but there is a way to do it. I just don't know it. The which? Let me come over to you. Right. Maybe you've locked it? No, you can't have locked it. Can you? I wanted to get permission to grab it, but I don't see how I can do that. Yes, okay, so I grab it, I go to those three dots. Okay, see this thing here? It doesn't? Yeah, grab it. Now click on those blue button, and a menu should appear. I don't see anything on your controller. I don't have access to that. Or did you see it on mine? Let go and let me try. Maybe I can give you access to it. So I grab it, I click on it, I have this menu. Do you see that menu? Yeah. Because I click on that now, and now you have, do you see the points now? Yeah. So if you make yourself really, really big, you should be able to grab the center of this and delete it. Like just this, but we only want to get, we don't want to get the outside, we just want to get the inside. Like that point has to come out, and this point, oh, sorry, we're going to do this point maybe, this point. Yikes. So this is trickier than I thought. See all these points? Somehow we have to be able to get some of these things, these faces out of here. And we're looking at points, and we want to look at faces. Because if we can get a face selected, and then somehow you're supposed to be able to join these points to one another, but I created a weird, so there's supposed to be ways to add points, but there's no surface to add them to. There's an auto select loop. There's ways of like doing extrusions. Modeling in Grtavity Sketch is its own beast, and it do let you do it, but I don't know it well enough. So, yeah, we have to play around with it. But that doesn't disturb the purpose of our tutorial, which is to put the tanks together. So, let's see if I gotta swim back over to my, you make yourself a giant to move around and then make yourself small again. The point was that if you grab your pipe and you shrink it to the right size and place it in the tank, and then you'll have to lock it. So once you've placed it properly, go into your menu but place both your pipes and then do it. And make sure that the hole faces outward that we talked about in the 2-inch pipe. That hole that, if you come over here, I can show you on mine here. Or I can come over to you. So you have a pipe that has a hole in it somewhere, no? Where is that? So where's your pipe that had the cut in it?
Well, I grabbed this one from the
Oh, you can use that.
Oh, I see the hole on mine. Yeah, I see.
Where's that? I'm trying to see if Shaban, if I can hear you, because you're way out in the other room. Are you muted for some, by some?
I think you just have to hear.
No, you're muted. Now you can hear me, right? Because I unmuted myself. What you do to, and I think you can turn your volume down in your headset, Aaron, if you need to. But for Shaban, because she's in the other room, Shaban, do you see in the left controller on the far left side, there's a little microphone? On your left controller over here? Left controller, in your left hand, there is a little button that is either red for a microphone or green. Click on that. It's this button right here. Oh, I'm next to, oops. I thought he was me. There, that button right there. Click on that. No, not the menu button. There's a button here, a rotating thing, and there's one on this controller here. Don't you have one? Are you using different controllers?
Looks like a big button, but there's only 2 buttons, and then a storage over.
I am going to have to go over to you and investigate.
Yeah, made some progress. I just don't know if I got the right pipes. Oh, there's like a little menu button. This one has a little.
This one. That should be the microphone.
Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense that you can still do it even if you weren't in the same room. But
Yeah.
I'm like, what? What exactly? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you're over there.
So the hole in the 2-inch pipe needs to be facing toward the outside of the tank.
Correct, so that the fluid has to go around it. It can't just go migrate directly across the tank. Okay, so. Can you hear me, Shaban?
Yeah, I think so.
But I don't hear you. I don't hear you. Do you hear me in your headset? Aaron?
I turned the volume down.
Mhm. And where are you? Oh, you're way down there. Okay. I see you. Okay, so yes, that hole, and then the cut has to face into the tank. Because the food is supposed to go down this way, slide in, go across the tank along the diagonal, hit the bottom there and not be able to get out until it's fully digested when it migrates up the outside and goes in and up the tank and out. That is the intent of that. So once we have those pipes in place, lock it so that you're not going to disturb those pipes. Okay, and so that's why it's good to have it already on a level. So now these are locked, and I can't move anything except the lid. I'm gonna put the lid on a separate layer too, because I wanna be able to manipulate it without messing with the IBC tank. So I create a layer called,
Would you lock it? Would you lock it in the layers?
yes, in the layers.
Yeah, I locked it there, but I can still move that for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, I think the locking it just makes it so that you can't move it out.
No, for me, if I lock it, I can't move my own. Yep. Like I have lid now, I'm gonna take the lid, place it in that layer. Yeah, nothing, I can't grab it, I'm not messing with it at all now. So what are you, let me come over to you. Here's your pipe. So this pipe you're saying is on a layer? Oh, I keep going over to Shaban. Okay.
Yeah, both of my pipes are on separate layers.
But I can move your pipe.
Yeah, you see my,
Yeah.
you see how it's locked?
Yes, but did you really put it there? Like if I grab your pipe, where is your, oh, I can't, I'm not allowed to do that for you. You should put it on until it turns green. And the way you know if it works is you turn on and off the eye. And it should disappear when you turn off the eye. See?
Yeah.
So your pipe is not on that layer. Yep, it's not on, grab it and drop it on that 2-inch layer. Yeah. There you go. Yep. Now it's locked. You shouldn't be able to touch it. Perfect. Much better.
Okay, cool, I think it's locked in.
All right, so we've got the 2 pipes in for you. Shaban, have you got pipes in?
I'm heading towards the center of the room because I think my pipes are.
Oh, a trick for you. Instead of swimming as an ant, which could take you like Zeno's paradox forever, make yourself a super giant. Like just spread your wings out like super like, no, you're disappearing. You're going into quantumania. Oh no, we're losing Shaban. Shaban, I'm coming after you. I'm swimming in there. I'm like Michael Douglas. Here you are. Shaban, make yourself super big. Even bigger. Follow me out here. Just press in. Yeah, press in, press in. Now you can rapidly move anywhere you want to as a giant.
Well, I found out that using the 2 buttons to zoom in and out is for zooming and not for moving. If you click and hold my left one only, that's how you move.
Left one only rotates the room.
Right, but you can also move through space with it by pulling in and out.
Yes, oh I see, pulling, right.
Yeah, right.
But you can't shrink it that way.
No, shrinking is only, the 2.
Right. Oh, I see what you mean. It's more efficient to use one when you're just moving in and out.
Yeah, right. Instead of
see.
zooming everywhere, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Otherwise, you keep doing this weird zoom thing. I was just used to rowing. I was like, I can row.
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
Okay. So, shall we look at? Hmm?
Where does the ball
There
valve
she is.
go?
What is it?
Where does the ball valve go?
Oh, let's do that last.
Okay.
First, we have to find a way to get the food in. And if you come over to the table here, oh, I left it. It's not on the table. I'm going to duplicate for you a bunch of. Yeah. I'm going to give you each a big gulp. There's one for you too. There's a big gulp. I'm going to put one on the table permanently there, and I'll grab my own big gulp. And to put the big gulp right onto the 2-inch, the 4-inch pipe, and turn it so that it faces, so that if you came up to the corner, you wouldn't spill food all over yourself, because it would be like this. And then that should also go on a layer that gets locked. So that's called bulkhead. Not bulkhead, what am I talking about? It's called big gulp, or just funnel. So big gulp funnel for me, I get back down there to y'all. Grab my big gulp. drop it into that layer, let go, and lock it. All right, now nobody's gonna mess with that. Now, the next thing is we need a way for the fertilizer that we get out, because when you feed this with food waste, it's gonna raise the water level in the tank because it's always filled with water and it has to overspill. So on the table, I created an object that I'm gonna give you. There's a copy for you, and there's a copy for you. And this is a T with a pipe and an elbow. Other things you would have spent time downloading from SketchUp or 3D Warehouse. I don't want you to have to do. So place the T and make it go out a diagonal like this. I have to make it my precision. I'm not a surgeon. My hands jitter. Maybe you're better at it than me. All right, you do it like that, and then the reason why you need a T is because if you don't have a T, if you just have an elbow, when it starts to drip, it'll suck all the fluid out of the tank and crush the tank. It'll just collapse like a vacuum. So we put a T open facing so that atmospheric pressure doesn't allow it to siphon, if that makes any sense to you. And that needs to go in its own layer, and I have that whole piece as one piece, and that's called fertilizer output. But you could also break it apart because they're just joined. If you use the ungroup, and you can have it elbow, T, that is up to you. I'm not going to do that for right now.
What's it called, the fertilizer?
Fertilizer outlet pipes, but it's made up of a T, and so probably in the future we want to go in and make separate layers for each of those parts. Because otherwise people will not completely learn how to do it. Oh gee, my pipes. And whenever you can't place something, just make yourself really tiny. And then each of your motions will not affect things as much. So it's this constant dance of making stuff big, small, which is really an interesting way to work when you think about it. There's a prediction that this will be the industry standard. Not that people spend all their time in VR, but that they will use the capability to grow, shrink, do VR, AR, XR. It's the workflow is going to be a constant change, especially when Apple Vision perfects its crazy stuff. Unless Zuckerberg beats him to it.
Zuckerberg stuff is way more cost friendly, for sure.
Yeah, and I can't see what advantages Apple Vision would give me at this stage in my career. It is a bit painstaking. I think we'll all figure out better workflows the more we get familiar with it. We were watching in another class the video that Grtavity Sketch industry leaders are using, and they're saying all this stuff is so new that people are still adapting to the workflow. Right, the next piece we need is the bulkhead fitting. And I put one on the table over here, but I think you also have one right there. I can give you copies of mine. Although this is not the best one because this one doesn't let you remove the ring. So let me move this one out there for you. This bulkhead here is the good one. Get rid of these. So if you take this bulkhead, I'll take up 4 of them. I'm going to take one myself. Take that bulkhead and look at it make yourself really small, and notice that the ring is out of place, but I separated it so that you could learn how a bulkhead works. So if you guys come close to me here, I will show you how a bulkhead works. A bulkhead should have two pieces, one that goes inside the tank from underneath, and one that is a locking ring that goes on top and screws it down. If you can see me, I don't know, I see Aaron. Siobhan, can you see me? With this bulkhead? So what you would do is you would take the lid off of your tank and turn it over. This one is not hollow, unfortunately, so that's a modeling problem. But imagine that this was hollow, like a real lid. What you would do is you take this and put it underneath and stick it up like this. That's how you use a bulkhead. Then you take the locking nut and you screw it on here. That is how a bulkhead works. And that's because we need the gas to be able to come up and out. The question of whether or not I can take this and hollow it out, I don't know. If I go into subdivide, maybe I can hollow it. It's just, you know, it's like Blender put a surface that this thing doesn't want to recognize. There, I did it. I hollowed it out. Okay, done. There, that's what it should look like. You can take my lid. I'm going to get rid of this one. How do I get this? How do I grab it? Where is it? It must be on another layer. Are you able to grab it? Why couldn't I grab it? Oh, okay. Oh, no, I just deleted it. Okay. Okay, there we go. Siobhan, here's a lid for you that's hollowed out. And once again, the technique is to put your bulkhead up underneath like this. And then as you can see it, can you see it in here? Yeah? So the bulkhead goes underneath like that. And then, yeah, so that's the good one. And then you can put the ring, the locking nut on top. And then you can bind it together. So you have a group, and then you put that on your tank. And then look at, funny. Okay, and I put it in the layer. So I guess I'm going to rename my layer IBC lid and bulkhead. Might as well put them in the same place, in the same layer. Unlock it. So what you should have then is a tank that has a big gulp dust hood funnel going into a 4-inch pipe whose cut edge is facing diagonally across the inside of the tank. In the center of the tank, you should have a lid that has a bulkhead fitting that was inserted from underneath with a purple locking nut that was screwed on from the top. Unfortunately, there's no hole in that, so we'll have to deal with that at some point. Then you have a 2-inch pipe with a hole in the middle of it facing out diagonally from the tank. And then it has a T and a piece of pipe and an elbow. You are ready for everything but the gas. So this would be a great liquid composter, and the gas would build up in it, but you couldn't get the gas out. So that's where our valve comes in, but to do that, we need a piece of pipe. And the best piece of pipe to use, I think I brought one in over here, a little section of pipe here, and I can give some to you. I can give one to you, and I have one here. And I take that piece of pipe and I place it inside the bulkhead fitting like so. If I can get it to work down. Yeah, it's right here, holding it. The reason, or I should ask you in teacher mode, why am I using a 2-inch piece when the valve I'm going to use is going to be 1/2 inch? What is this 2-inch piece doing there? I put it right in the bulkhead. But why? Why do that? Because the other piece that's going to go in is this. That's going to be the other piece, and I don't have a coupling. I need to get a coupling so that it doesn't leak. But imagine that this was flat with a coupling that reduced from 2" to 1/2 inch. This is the way that it works. It goes that to the valve to the elbow. Why am I bothering? Why don't I just have a 1/2 inch piece? If that's the size. Any ideas? Because gas will come out of the 1/2 inch pipe through the 1/2 inch valve and the 1/2 inch elbow and the 1/2 inch barb valve. Why bother with a 2" piece here? And believe me, we've tried without it. We've tried going straight. If I take this piece out, we've tried to go like this. Why don't we do that anymore? It's just gas. Yeah. What does water tend to do? Seeks its own level. This is water with food waste in it. So the floaty lipids and the floaty things, poop and all that, they're going to float up, right? And they're going to clog up this little 1/2 inch pipe. And then you're like, I'm not getting any gas. What's gone wrong? And you realize that when you open this pipe, you lift this pipe off like this, and you look inside, it's just filled with poop or floaty git. And you have to clean it like every few months. So what we said is, no, we're going to put a 2" pipe that is higher than the water level. And that is too short actually. This one is not big enough, so I probably need a different section. This piece is thick, so I'm going to use this piece here and make it bigger. Let me give you this instead. You need a piece of pipe that is big enough to get higher than the water line so that the floaties can stay underneath. And then, oops, yikes. Then, if I could even get this thing to match up again. Then the floaties aren't going to clog up the gas pipe. Does that make sense? Because that's it. That's a biodigester. And I can give you this piece of pipe better than the other one. This is longer. Oh, shoot. Let me do that. Here. Take that. That's for you, Siobhan. And that is for you. Because it should stick up higher than the water level, so I'd get rid of that one. When you selected it, hit the red button on your right controller, and bing, it's gone. Okay, so now you also need an elbow. So I'm going to give you the elbow. Here is one for you, and here is one for you. And you're going to need a barb nipple for the gas to come out. There's one for you, and there's one for you. I'm going to have to go into, I need to get a coupling, a reducer, or this isn't going to work. So I've got to go into 3D warehouse and get a reducer. What time is it?
9:06.
Oh, God. Okay, sorry, we're done. I will load in a reducer at some point. They say you lose time doing those. All right. Thank you very much. We will schließen this. Yeah.
Well, I must say my back is starting to
I know, right?
like an old lady. That's so cool. Man, we are living in the future.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. That was one. Oh,
The
shit.
floor and the walls help me tremendously.
Do they?
I love roller coasters, but I get insane vertigo. I can't hang the Christmas lights.
That's what Ju Juan was saying. who was in this class last semester, he's like, I can't put this stuff on. So today he tried it on in the afternoon. He said, I'm feeling much better. How come it's so different? I said, because we provided reference
It
points.
really helps. Yeah.
It's like when you're sailing, you're supposed to look at the horizon.
Yeah, it doesn't help me sailing either.
Oh, I
My
get
dad's a
seasick.
pirate and I get seasick as soon as we pull out from the dock.
Yeah.
And he can navigate by the stars and I get lost coming to USF every time I try to see him.
Do you feel like when we do this thing on the week I get back from Medellin, because we don't have class this coming week, that's spring break.
Right,
Then we
spring
have
break.
class the following week,
Mhm.
and then we do. We don't have it next week,
I
that's
think
spring
it's-
break.
Spring break, Columbia,
No, if it's spring break, we meet here the
okay. spring break,
20th, my
meet
birthday,
Columbia.
then I'm in
Okay, sorry.
Columbia. And then that next week, April 3rd, I think it is, we're doing science pints on that Wednesday night. I think that's the date. Or it might be that, is it?
Okay, spring break, one normal class,
It's spring break, normal class,
Columbia,
Columbia, and then the third is pints. And then we're supposed to just show up with this. I'll have a screen like we're doing here, and we will